Actually, I took a 1 minute live. Thank you once again, those who have joined in. Welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. A lot to talk about. A busy NFL season today, especially first game, first week of the NFL. I'm going to talk about some games. There was a little upset. If you're a Bengal fan, I cannot believe the Bengals got beaten by the New England Patriots. But hey, that's football. That happens. I have some statistics. I'm going to start with Thursday night game. Uh, Great game, by the way. The Ravens and the Chiefs. Great competitive game. Went to the last minute wire, like they say, like I say, they actually battle all the way through. Hopefully, hopefully it's gonna be a season like that. It's only one game, guys. Don't panic. Another one is the Friday night game. Unfortunately, we have Love that got injured. The good news, if you did see my post that I posted out there, it was not a ending season injury. He'll be back 4 to 6 weeks. Our prayer goes to him and the team. Hopefully, man, he's a heck of a player. So let's see what happens. Now today, a lot of good games, guys. A lot of good games. If your team won, man, I'm happy that they won. I do have my picks that I did so far until the 4 o'clock game is over. My record will be 8-4. And of course, we got tonight game at 8:20, and we got the Monday night football game. So I'm really, really excited that I have a record of 8-4, and I'll tell you what team I picked and I lost. But let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. A combination of two halves. Okay, the team has issues. Yes, guys, they have issues. Miami has issues. Running the ball. Okay, uh, protecting Tua. Once again, uh, the offensive line. Okay, protecting Tua, not running the ball. Okay, that's one of them that I saw that at the second half they finally ran the ball a little more efficient. And by the way, Tua ended up with 335 yards. Now the subject that everybody's going to bring up probably in my podcast is yes, Tariq Hill was arrested before the game. Okay, I'm not going to get into that because we actually don't know what is the cause of the incident that happened. Okay, Calais Campbell also said that he saw what happened and he almost got arrested also. So hopefully, those situations are done uh, that I know of did not distract the team. And if it did, it probably distracted them in the first half because truly in the second half, it was all Miami. Okay. Here we are, two quarterbacks that were giving good contracts for them to perform probably in the first game of the season, but eventually it did not happen. Okay, guys. So once again, I did start it early. I did said that I'll start at 7:15. But I did that. I'll do a recap. I'll tell you guys what I said from the beginning of the podcast. So thank you once again, those that have joined in. I appreciate you guys joining in the podcast. It's still a long season, guys. 60 more games to go. I'm gonna start by giving you some 4 o'clock game that's still going on. We got Denver losing to Seattle 26-20, and that's in the fourth quarter with 151 remaining. We have Dallas beating on Cleveland 33-10. That's in the fourth quarter with 10:42 remaining. And we have Tampa Bay beating Washington 37-14. Washington are in the red zone with 153 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now I'm gonna give you earlier games. Of course, Thursday night, Kansas City won 20-27. We had Green Bay losing to Philadelphia, 34-29 on Friday night in Brazil. We also had Pittsburgh, Justin Fields beating Atlanta 18-10. We had Buffalo come from behind, believe it or not, against Arizona. Arizona was dominating that game. Don't know what happened, but once again, Josh Allen, 34-28. We have Caleb Williams, which didn't have a good, if you want to call it a good debut with the Chicago Bears, but they still won 24-17, also coming back from behind. Then we had the upset of the day. What happened to the Bengals? New England beat the Bengals 16-10. Then we have Houston against the Colts. That was a heck of a game, guys. 29-27. That was your final. Then we had Carolina Panthers, which I picked. That's the worst pick that I picked. They got trounced 47-10 against the New Orleans Saints. Then we have Minnesota beating the Giants 28-6. That's also one of my picks that I missed. And then the last one that I missed was also the Raiders versus the Chargers. Congratulations for Harbaugh for winning his first NFL game back in the NFL game. So now, if you look at statistics, guys, you'll be surprised when you look at the statistics. And like I said in the beginning, statistics don't mean anything in this league. Either you win the game or you lose the game. Sometimes it ends up in the last minute. Last minute. So the time is 7:21. Those that want to join in, ask any question on the chat, go ahead. But let me give you some stats, okay? And like I said, there are games going live right now, still playing. And if you can hear me, let me know on the chat that you can hear me because I'm going live and I can hear myself on these here. But I don't know if you guys can hear me out there in the live streaming. All right, let's go to Miami game for a second. And I'm going to give you some statistics that's really amazing. The Dolphins end up with 400 yards, total yards in that game to Jacksonville 267. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you something, guys. I've been saying this from day one since I seen the Dolphins in preseason. Anthony Weaver defense are going to be a good defense. I know it's only just one game, guys. I was not too happy with their run defense. Okay, but when the clutch had to come in, they had to do it, which there was the two sacks. They sacked Lawrence at the end in the fourth quarter, where it was like 2 minutes and 34 seconds around there, and they put the pressure on. Okay, Tua stepped it up. I know you guys are going to say this. Well, both quarterback got paid pretty well in this league to win their games. Listen, I give credit all to Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I say the first half and probably a little bit of the third quarter, they played their guts out. Okay, but Miami used something that I've been noticing. They couldn't run the outside, but when they run up the middle, they were running up the middle. Another thing that hurt Miami: 9 penalties for 103 yards. Okay, and one thing that hurt Jacksonville that also hurt Miami is McDaniel's decision on going on fourth down, and so is the coach of the Jaguars at your own 32-yard line. You punt the ball. I understand if you have a lead and you're doing it, but if you're behind, I understand. But if you have a lead, I mean, why risk it? That means you don't trust in your defense or you don't trust in your offense, either or. Because Miami offense was struggling in that game. So that's why I give credit to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Don't think Miami, wow, what a big game they won. Listen, the guy had to kick a 52-yard field goal. It wasn't a cheap shot, which I was impressed that McDaniel did not throw the ball down the field. Okay, so Miami's almost had what 3 wide receivers with 100 yards. I think A-Chain had 75. Tariq had 130, and Waddle, if I'm quite sure, Waddle had let's say 109 yards receiving. But anyhow, let me get to the stats so you can see the difference. Wilson was the best runner in Tua. Tua had one rush for 11 yards. But then you have Wilson Jr. with 5 attempts, 26 yards for a 5.2 average. That would really change the ball club in the fourth quarter. But anyhow, let me give you some game stats. Okay, so time of possession, Jacksonville had 26.50. Miami had 33.10. Jacksonville had a total of 267 total yards. Miami had 400. Here's the key. Trevor Lawrence only had 139 yards passing. Miami had 319. But here's the rushing thing. Ready? They had 128 yards rushing. Miami had only at 81. So total first down, very close. Miami 18, Jacksonville 17. On third down, Jacksonville was 2 for 10. Miami was 8 for 16 at 50%. On fourth down, both ball club were 0 for 1 and Miami 0 for 2. Here's another one. Penalties. 8 for 71 for Jacksonville. 9 for 103. Sack total. They had 3. We had 3. A total for 23 yards for Jacksonville and 19 for Miami. So as you see, the game was really close. I mean, defensive wise, offensive wise, Miami at the end, I think Tua just got hot and ran with it and started playing good smart football. Jacksonville had one fumble, which that's the one that cost them the game. The one that Holland punched the ball out of the guy's hand and recovered Miami in the end zone. Punt average, the punter from Jacksonville had a 51.8 average versus 49.5 for Miami. Those are your statistics for the Dolphin game. Okay. And then we'll talk about the rest of the game. My only concern is that Miami defense is what kept them in the game, and this is what won the game. Okay. Tua, I know he threw for 335 yards, 1 touchdown, but at the end of the day, it's the defense that actually helped this team win the game. Now, other games that I saw, and I'm going to talk about the Bengals now. Wow, guys. This is why I tell you that any given Sunday, any team could beat any team, regardless. Okay. Preparation, determination, chemistry. You know, the expectation of the Bengals, and I know it's only one game, guys, okay, to come in and fall flat on their first home game. Now, I know the guy fumbled. He was going to celebrate too early, and he fumbled, and knowing they caught the ball, and that happens. That's part of sports. That's football for you. Okay, so my concern is who are these Bengals? I believe they will overcome this, yes, but once again, a lot of players lost in the offensive line. Trades. What did the team build around your quarterback this year? That makes you think. Okay, I know a lot of Bengal fans are going to get angry, but let's be real, guys. Let's be real on this. All right, another one's Arizona. Arizona had a lead against the Buffalo Bills, but Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen prevailed. They came back. Was a good game also. Tennessee had a lead against Caleb Williams, which is was it wasn't one of the good game. Because let me tell you the total yard in that game. Are you ready? Chicago had a total of 148 yards. Tennessee only had 244. It was ugly, guys. It was real ugly. Let me tell you Cincinnati numbers. I forgot to tell you Cincinnati numbers. Total yards, Cincinnati 224 to New England 290. So these games were kind of close, defensive wise. It's just one simple mistakes, and that was it. That was it, guy. Look at Atlanta. Atlanta had 226 compared to Pittsburgh 270. My concern with Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh fans are going to agree with me, you got to start scoring touchdowns in this league if you're going to win. Field goals are not going to work. That I can tell you. And give credit to Justin Field. I mean, Russell Wilson was a late scratch with his calf injury, and Justin Field took the Pittsburgh Steelers to a victory. And let's be positive about it. Right. Then the good game was Houston and the Colts. That one was going back and forth. Houston won at 29-27. Houston had 417 total yards in the game compared to Indy's 303. Then we had the blowout of the day, which was New Orleans beating Carolina 47-10. And Carolina scored only 10 points and only had 193 total offense compared to New Orleans 379. And then what's going to happen to Daniels, the quarterback of the Giants? Because Minnesota beat him 28-6. By the way, Van Ginkel, a former Dolphin, had a pick six on that game. Minnesota had 312 yards compared to New York 240. See, sometimes it's time of possession. And then this just in final, the Chargers beating the Las Vegas Raiders 22-10 for Harbaugh first win, 296 total yards for Las Vegas, 316 for the Chargers. Then we have Seattle beating Denver 26-20. And that gave them a little edge there because Seattle was losing. At the same time, Seattle came back. Total yards 231 for Denver, 304 for Seattle. Then we had Washington versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay winning that one 37-20, but 17 points. Washington had 299 yards to Tampa Bay 392 yards. So that's your week one. And don't forget tonight. Tonight is Detroit. And don't forget Dallas is still playing. Dallas is up 33-10 in the fourth quarter. So tonight we have the Rams at Detroit. They have Detroit -5, and that started at 8:20. Okay, and then tomorrow night we got the Jets and San Francisco. San Francisco -3.5 Monday night at 8:15 p.m. So that is your wrap up of the NFL Week 1. Exciting, very exciting. Okay, a lot of games came down the wire. Last possession, and these are the close games. You know, you have Pittsburgh 18-10. You have Miami winning by a field goal. New England winning 16-10. Chicago went down the wire against Tennessee 24-17. So does Houston and the Colts 29-27. The rest of the games were blowout. Seattle also win 26-20. So the chat's open if you guys want to have any comment about your teams. Guys, this is a sports channel that I'm telling you, I'm realistic. You know, I don't believe in statistics. Statistics might be good, but win and losses is where it counts. So tell me how you feel about your team today. Now, I'm a Dolphin fan. I'm going to be realistic to you guys. They need to work in the offensive line. They need help. This is where Greer is going to have to do something. You know, Miami had probably 12, between 10 to 12 people injured in that game. And some play. I mean, Ramsey played. I mean, he got burned in the pass for a touchdown. Oh, I'm sorry, not touchdown, pass interference. that led to a touchdown. So, there's things you gotta look at the game, and like I tell you, the chemistry of the team. So the game plan. I'm not too happy with McDaniel going down on fourth down twice and failing twice. And then the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars going on his own 32-yard line when you still got the lead. That's a bad decision. So if you guys in the chat have something to say, go ahead. You could join in and I'll answer your question. If you're just listening to the chat, that's fine also. I'm just giving you my update for week 1 NFL. If you join in, I'll give you some live scores already. If you want to know, the only team playing right now is Dallas and Cleveland. They're in the fourth quarter with 3:02 remaining. Cleveland got the ball at the Dallas 23-yard line, trailing 33-10. So, but yeah, man, great victory for Miami. I'm very happy for them. You know, a tough one, a close one. Give your hearts out to the Jaguars. They also play well. You can't say they didn't. Miami was struggling from the beginning. They couldn't run the ball in the beginning. I'm gonna tell you something that McDaniel needs to learn from. Stop this dinking dunking stuff and screens and screens and screens and screens. You need to open up. And finally, Tua throw a 80-yard bomb to Tariq. Then he throws a 60-yard bomb to Waddle. I mean, you got to open up the field, guys. If you want to win in this league, you got to open up the field. I'm not saying that you got speedsters, which that's what they have in their ball club, but you need to open up your offense. Okay, running is one thing that I see that is the weapon for the Miami Dolphins. One thing is they couldn't run to the left, they couldn't run to the right, but once they go to the middle, which is something they couldn't do last year, but they did this year. I couldn't believe they went third down and one, and they got the first down up the middle. With Wilson and what's number 30 name? Inglu, who he was picked from the Raiders a couple years ago. I mean, they ran up the middle and it wasn't like 1 yard, 2, 3, 4 yards down the middle. And I understand a big dude like Henry or a big running back that could do it, but this offensive line, I give them credit in that part. They were good up the middle, but on the outsides, both outsides, they couldn't do nothing. Raheem got hit like 2 or 3 plays during the game. Kind of hard. I mean, a solid tackle from one of the Jaguars player, but you know they return later on. But man, once again, McDaniel needs to change around the playbook, and I know the playbook will be changed because what you saw today is not everything. You see, I told everybody from preseason, guys, what you see in preseason, they're not going to reveal it in the preseason. They're going to reveal it in the regular season, and they open up the playbook more. So, but anyhow, that's what I got for tonight. I was going to do this wrap up for Monday, but see, Monday I got Monday night, so I'll probably wrap up the Rams in Detroit tomorrow, and then tomorrow night we got the Jets in San Francisco. So, guys, you let me know about your team. Now, don't be ashamed if your team lost, guys. There's only one game. We still got 16 games in the season. Sometimes people think that wow, Miami won and they won the Super Bowl. No, that's not what it is, guys. It's just one game at a time. That's all it is. One game at a time. Did I saw improvement? Yes. Did I saw weaknesses? Yes. And that's from every NFL team today, by the way. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest, guys and girls, if you're out there watching. Okay? Some of these teams didn't look too well. Okay? But you got to give credit to Brissett when the New England Patriots went there and beat Cincinnati. And I didn't see that coming. But that's football. Any given Sunday. Remember that movie? So, but anyhow, guys, if you guys want to join in, the chat. I'm fine with it. If your ball club won, lost, I want to talk about it. That's fine. If you want to leave a comments, you can leave a comment after the live streaming. One thing, college football. Let me change it a little bit about college football. Some great games on Saturday. Michigan losing against Texas. Miami, who ranked 19th, pick up 7 spot and pick up 2 more spots. Now they're 10. They're in the top 10. Florida State out of the top 25. Michigan went down. Okay. Alabama, let me tell you, Alabama, you're lucky. You're really lucky, guys. You're really lucky. That was a heck of a game against Florida or FIU, what you want to call it. Uh, but I can see already that it's about to get a little bit tighter in the top 25. I'm just shocked with Miami, how Miami has played, how Cam is playing. Good candidate to win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, she's still early. Once again, it's only 2 games. Uh, but and I'll do that. My picks again. My picks will be my NFL picks will be after Monday night. I'll send my picks, and you can see it on my videos, guys. I'm doing shorts video. Those are things that I did this morning. I did a couple of updates. If you saw it, I told you Russell was a game time decision. I guess his calf was hurting him. They put Justin Fields. I announced that Chosen was added to the roster for the Dolphins because the Dolphins are banged up in receiver. So, and then I mentioned Prescott. Dak got his contract 4 year, 240 million for 4 years, and that's before the game. Congrats on him. They're winning big anyhow, so that's a good thing. And look at the division. Miami will have a division if the Jets win tomorrow night. Everybody will be 1-0 in that division. That division reminds me of the Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and the Ravens and Cleveland. So, and by the way, the Cleveland Browns just scored a touchdown. So it's 33-16, pending for the extra point. So, once again, guys, for the beginning, I forgot to say this. Thank you so much, those that have subscribed to the channel. You will have live updates like I'm doing right now with scores about your team. I hope you guys having a good Sunday. Back to work tomorrow, full schedule. So if you guys can hear me, let me know in the chat. If you can't, I'm just trying to see here. I do see a couple of dots here in the bottom, but hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. All right. So the Rams will face Detroit tonight. Detroit by 5.5. That's the spread. That's going to start at 8:20 p.m. Probably like 45 minutes to an hour from now. If you want to add something to the chat about your team, what do you think about your team today? How well they did? How bad they did? Like I said, don't freak out, guys. It's just the first game of the season. 16 more games to go to. So, and once again, you think I'm impressed with the Dolphins? Not really. I if it's funny how they give them grades. A, B, A, B. I think it's A, B, C, or D or F, whatever they do on the Bleacher Report. Oh man, these are professional football players. At the end of the day, they have to do what they have to do. Okay, they get paid to do their job. Sometimes you have good games, sometimes you have bad games. That's it. I'm not going to criticize anything. But I know tomorrow news it will be Tariq Hill being arrested. That's going to show all the way. I hope McDaniel and the front office will take care of him. Things happen. Sometimes you got to fix those things. I mean, you're playing your home opener. You got to be smart about it. The good thing is there was no distraction. That was so professional about it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Now we got Thursday night football, which is another thing. That's a 4-day rest, and now they face the Buffalo Bills at home. This is going to be a key matchup right here. That if Miami wins on Thursday night, okay, and I'm not saying they are, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough team. The only thing I know is that Buffalo put up uh, points against Arizona, 34. Miami only put 20 today on the field. But I see the difference I see of Miami this year already, which I've been watching from the preseason, is their defense. I mean, if I could see Buffalo allow 28 points on defense, Miami can score on Buffalo. Okay. But now that we have, Calais Campbell, Flowers, Ramsey, Holland, my God, their defense uh, chop today. Phillip had a sack today, by the way. Good game for Phillip. Calais Campbell had a sack and then a loss on the running back. I mean, this defense just play amazing, guys, and that's who won the game today. The Dolphins defense, to be honest with you. Yeah, I know it took Tua to take the drive and take him to the field, for the winning drive. But man, to hit a 52-yard field goal, that's tough on that one. But he did, and they won the game. So now they got Buffalo, then they rest for the following week until I think on Sunday. So Miami, both teams are going to be, one got to travel to Miami. Miami stays in Miami. That's where I think Miami has the advantage. Buffalo got to fly down here after winning today and prepare for Thursday night football. So give me a second, guys. Wait, let me try something here. I'm just testing this out. Okay, I guess that they came out. All right, there we go. That came out. All right, let me see this. Right there we go. I just put myself, see if I can see if I can hear it myself, and I guess I can't. All right, guys. I don't know if you guys are sleeping out there or what type of fans you guys are, but I know your team is out there, man, and they won. So you gotta be happy about your team, or you have concern about your team. So I'm live, and if you wanna chat in, let me know, guys. All right. So that's the final. Dallas 33, Cleveland 17. Look at this, guys. Dallas scored 33 points, and they only had a total of 265 yards to Cleveland 230 yards. You see why statistics don't mean anything, guys? So, well, guys, I'm gonna be here 10 more minutes to 8 o'clock. I got actually 12 more minutes. If you want to join in, have any question about your team or concern, go right ahead. If you're not, that's okay. This live stream will be recorded, and you guys can see it first thing tomorrow morning or tonight. So hopefully, you guys could get all the information. By the way, not changing the subject because I really want to talk about football tonight. Baseball's heating up. The Orioles lost again. That dropped them to a game and a half. Don't know if the Yankees actually won today against the Cubs. And if they did, let me look at the standings. Give me a second. Yeah, the Yankees lost, and the Orioles lost, so that keeps the Orioles a half game out of first place. So basically, these teams are struggling at the end. I guess their best record in baseball is the Dodgers at 86-57. Wow. But anyhow, let me get back to the NFL because the NFL was interesting today. Very interesting today. Let me get some water here. Guys, if I was going back to the Dolphins, if I was McDaniels, um, we need to work on the time clock. The time clock is hurting this team. Okay. Once again, that goes to management. That goes to McDaniel's side. Okay. Calling these timeouts, not rushing to the line on time. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Imagine 9 penalties for 103 yards. I mean, there's plays there that I can see that McDaniel needs to grow as a head coach. Now, I'm not saying that the McDaniel, I mean, let's be honest. The reason why McDaniel, let me get to the point. I'm not gonna go around the bushes on this one. The reason why McDaniel goes for it on fourth down because he trusts his player. I mean, I don't trust his offensive line this year, but that's what he trusts. His players is offensive line. So he's taking that risk every time on the field. And that's what I'm afraid this season that might probably hurt the Miami Dolphins down the road. I hope not. I hope he makes better decisions. Uh, Once again, I did like what Anthony Weaver did with this defense. Uh, I think they got great players. I know we lost Ben Ginkle, we lost Wilkins, but with the cast that we have, of course, if they stay healthy through the whole year, this team is going to be hard to beat. On the defensive side, they are going to keep Miami in the game, and this is when Tua is going to have to show up. Hey, we gave you that contract. Now it's for you to show up and see if you could do it. So that's something that I want to see, and we might see it Thursday night, guys. We might see it Thursday night. Who knows? But to be sincere with you, no doubt in my mind that the Dolphins defense, like I tell you, with Fuller, Holland, Ramsey, I mean they're loaded. You know, Philip played today. Like I say, he had a sack or half a sack, what you want to call it. Uh, Calais Campbell was veteran leadership. They're going to be tough. especially putting pressure to the quarterback. They did at the beginning, then they back up and play man to man, but then start putting the pressure at the end. And when the pressure came in, it came in. And you guys that are Jacksonville Jaguar fans, don't get upset because, you know, I know in your mind you says, well, we just paid this quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, good money. Yeah, but that's going to take time, guys. You know, your team is good, and we should know how good they're going to be. Now, I didn't pick them to win your division. I picked Houston. You know, Houston. I mean, it's between Houston, Colts, and Jaguars. To be honest with you, but I picked Houston to win the division. So, well, guys, we got 6 more minutes. If anybody wants to join in the chat, you're welcome to, guys. Any question about your team? Any concern about your team? Baseball, football? There is no basketball, no hockey yet. Pretty soon there will. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna give out game balls. My first game ball will be to the Dolphins defense. Okay, I'll give a game ball to even Justin Field to come into and take over and win the game. I'll give a game ball to New England Patriots by beating the Bengals at home in their field. Okay, these are my actually game ball for this team because man, they did a heck of a job, to be honest with you. All right, here we are. Give me a second. Oops. We give a game ball to Mahomes too for Thursday night. Game ball for probably not Green Bay defense, Philadelphia defense. I don't think Hurst. You see, that's another thing. I saw Hurst 2 turnovers, actually three, but he had 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions. He fumbled the ball. I have concerns with Hurst in Philadelphia. Uh, I'll give a game ball to Allen in Buffalo. What a great comeback. Stroud from Houston, game ball. Carr from New Orleans Saints, deserve a game ball. Minnesota, Van Ginkel, deserve a game ball. So these are my game balls. Seattle deserve a game ball. And of course, Harbaugh from the Chargers winning his first game of the season with his quarterback. Justin Herbert, 17 for 26 for 144 yards. Now the running back, 10 rushes for 135 yards, a 13.5 average. Wow. That's a heck of a running back for the Chargers. Minshew was 25 for 33 for 257 yards, one TD, and one interception. Minshew didn't have a bad game, but Minshew is probably better when he's a backup quarterback and he comes in to win the game. That's what he's good at. As a starting quarterback, I don't think he's that good. But anyhow, that's my opinion. So, guys, we got 3 more minutes before I sign off. And once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to put the comments. That's very important. As you put the comments, I could actually respond to your questions, and I'll give you my answer. So we're gonna be 22 minutes away from kickoff in Detroit, as the Rams will face Detroit. Oh, let me get you my stats, which is not bad. I was looking at it. For my first pick of the NFL season, Of course, I got 2 more games. Will be Monday night and today at 8:20. I ended with a record of I'm 8-4. Not bad at all. For my first season doing the picks, I'm 8-4. So if I win tonight, which I like Detroit, I'll go 9-4. And if I pick San Francisco beating the Jets, I go 10-4 for my first week pick. And then tomorrow, let's say tomorrow or during the week, you will have your picks for next week. I'm trying to get ahead of myself just to get, but I have to wait till all these games end at the end of the day so I can add my picks. So one more minute, guy, and I'll be out of here. And once again, I know most of you guys are listening and not commenting, but that's okay. I want to thank you so much for joining in for this live chat. For you to keep it and know that I'm going live, you have to have your notification button on. I always tell that to everybody. Please have it on so you can know that I'm going live. Once again, congratulations to every team that won today. If your team won, congrats. Once again, I thank you for watching Sports Night with Jorge. You guys have a blessed night and see you soon.